A kitchen tap replacement. The tap comes with 2x flexi tails for your hot and cold, some threaded rebar, a brass nut, and a rubber gasket and washer. So we're going to remove the panel. These can be quite tricky in some of the modern kitchens, and you have to multi-tool it away, but this is quite an old house, 1980s. So with the panel removed, you can now see the hot and cold feeds. And on the right is the cold feed and the incoming stock tap. My lovely plumber's green tray. I love this. Great for catching water. So here you can see me installing the flexi tails. If you look at the arrow and that little black rubber gasket, you've got to make sure that's inserted. Screw them up hand tight and then a little nip up with your hand. If you overdo it, you'll twist the flexi tail and damage it, and then it will leak in the future or at the time of the installation. So you've got your hot and cold. This is the underside of the tap. Once again, make sure the washer's on both ends of the flexi tail. This is the end that connects to your tap. So yeah, the tap now is nearly ready for installation and mounting. So you can see these two, the gasket and the washer, like a half domed washer, and these go onto the I think it's a 2 to 3 mil rebar thread, or M3, M4 possibly. And it's quite difficult. You have to sometimes you need to have two people. You hold the tap down, thread the flexi tails through the hole in the sink, and then you do this bar up, as you can see. You need to do that up and use a screwdriver, so you have to put it in the right end so that the screwdriver will locate onto that end and screw it in tight. You can see me doing this now. So if you put that in the wrong way, you can't tighten that down, and then you might get the tap wobbling in the future. So tighten both of those down. So this is me now removing the hot existing inlet to the old tap. This was actually done at too tight. This should, there's a rubber gasket stroke washer on there, and that if you over tighten it, you can damage that and it will leak in the future as it cuts into it. So these should only be done up hand tight and then a quarter turn with your adjustables. Same as the on the right there, that's the cold feed. So I've finally managed to undo both existing cold and hot feeds, and I'm going to now replace these with the new tap flexi tail. So these are 15mm by 1/2 inch PSB adapters for flexi tail taps. What a lot of people do, they'll tighten a flexi tail with its rubber O-ring gasket against the service valve, like in this case. And what can happen is they're designed for a compression fitting with an olive, and it's quite sharp, and you can over tighten it and cut right into the O-ring. So these don't cost a lot, 3 or 4 quid. You pop them into the service valve fitting, do it up, and then you've got a nice smooth inlet for your flexi taps. So here I'm marking the cold feed and then the hot feed, just so for any other plumber or installer comes along, they can identify it straight away without having to trace stuff back. So it's good practice. So now we're connecting the flexi tail to the flexi tap connector adapters, as you can see here. So we've got an olive, their joint compound, and now you can see the female end of the connection between that and the 15mm inlet.
So we use joint compound, 50mm olive, 50mm flexi tap connector to 1/2 inch. You can now see me putting the flexi tail adapter in, and that'll be tightened up. And then you can see the smooth edge for the actual female part of the flexi tail with the rubber adapter that connects onto this, and then you just nip it up and a 1/4 turn. This is where people go wrong, and they can leak when they don't use these. So here you can see me using a special socket. You buy these at plumbers merchants, and they have all different sizes, and they locate on the brass nut which locates the tap into the sink. This is quite good access here, but some aren't. So here you can see me just checking the tap locates correctly and that the rubber washer's in place and the flexi tails are attached correctly. I'm now connecting the flexi tap connector onto the flexi tail adapter. All you need to do is do it up hand tight and a 1/4 turn, otherwise you'll just make the rubber, compress the rubber too much and it will leak. So now you can see me tightening up there's the brass nut there, the washer and gasket, and this will push up against the inside of the sink and tighten the tap, fasten it to it. So everything's connected up now. We've got the hot and cold, isolation on both, it's all labelled, and there's the stop tap all ready to go. So the taps all finished, hot and cold's all working, and another happy customer.